So we have some guests here. This is going to be an episode devoted toward a one 8-bit is great who was recently suspended from Games Done Quick. The X4, Mega Man X4 and Mega Man X5 runs have been removed from the schedule. I don't know what they've been replaced with. I'm not sure if anyone knows. I'm not sure if anyone cares.
Yeah, I haven't checked.
And so we're also being joined by 8bit's accomplice, Shadow Zero, who may or may not be here. Hello, Shadow Zero.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Okay, so yeah, so 8bit has been essentially called out for some antics, and
They've been censored?
8bit's free speech has been censored yet again.
Oh no, my free speech.
And so 8bit, would you like, this is your opportunity to explain the situation on the Speed Dogs with an audience of potentially thousands?
Alright, so I'll give the scoop on the basic GDQ lore or whatever. So basically, I got X4 and 5 in. I just kind of submitted them as a joke and didn't really think anything of it. I've had a run in GDQ kind of before. I did X4 0 any percent for HRDQ, but that was an online marathon. And I planned on going to last SGDQ 2018, but I never did because I didn't have the money. But this year I definitely planned on going, and I had some runs in, so I was very excited. But I was pretty much checking all day Reddit, and even though I hate Reddit, and GDQ's site and GDQ's Twitter to see when the schedule came out, and it got delayed by a few hours, and I was pretty worried. But I'm almost positive that I was one of the reasons why it was delayed a few hours. So basically, a certain user, who we'll get into later, reported me for some not nice comments that I made some years ago, some pretty hateful shit that I don't like at all anymore or support in any fashion. But I mean, so that's basically the general idea. Is they found some really shitty stuff I posted on my Twitter that I should be held accountable for, and I'm okay with this ban for that reason. But the motives behind it are a little fuzzy.
All right. So I'm familiar with, saying, interesting things, so to speak, in the past, and getting called out for it. So I mean, the main thing, in my opinion, is that you acknowledge and rectify the mistakes. And from talking to you for the past week, it seems like you're on the right track. This is an opportunity for growth.
I agree.
And that's it. So you made this paste bin here. Would you like to go over that?
Okay, hold up. So this paste bin is very long-winded. I typed. Okay, so after I found out. Longer. Yeah, but let me explain a little bit. I mean long-winded as in like it's 2 sentences and then like 900 sentences and then like 2. So
the old 902 trick.
Yeah, the classic. That's how you get a good scare of it. 100% right there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so after I heard about the GDQ ban, I was, as most people would be, very, very stressed, very anxious, very, worried, thinking what's going to happen in the future. What's the deal here? When
I got my GDQ ban, I was worrying about, similar things.
Being yourself.
Yeah. So basically, I couldn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep Sunday night. I slept 3 hours barely, and then the next night I was talking to Cyber for a hot 3 hours. So I also slept 3 hours, and I wrote this after that. And I wrote this in school. Didn't pay attention to any of my classes.
So can we take a note here?
I am a senior, by the way.
Can we take a note here? GDQ is now responsible for the educational failure of 8-bit is great.
No, that's on me.
Like, what is the process here? Like, do they just not give you proper info?
The process is Like,
Slow roll, yeah.
they don't tell you fucking anything, and what they do tell
Well,
you is cryptic and like vague and like with a lot of
yeah,
ifs and buts and like.
they tell you very little, like to use to whoever is being banned, but they don't release it to the public at all. It's
Mhm.
completely on who's banned, aka on me, to release that to the public, and I have chosen to do so through this pastement. So I basically explain how I started speedrunning when I was 12,
I
in
remember those
2013.
days, yes.
Yes, you do. So I basically just talk about how I started speedrunning with, just because of my obsession with Mega Man, and I would just look up Mega Man games in the Twitch directories, and like pretty soon after I found Sneaks because I looked up X4, and so Sneaks was my first exposure to speedrunning, which yikes.
Could
But
could always be worse.
I don't know about that one. Uh, After that, I found Cyber. Uh,
Oops.
yeah, I guess that
Oops.
is that what you meant by it could be worse.
Well, I mean, no.
Anyway, yeah, no, I also agree. Uh, so yeah, a lot of the chat rooms I was in and stuff, I really would post some really really edgy shit.
Oh yeah.
I was very young. I don't think that's an excuse in the slightest, but to give context, I was very young. Um, posting this garbage, but I didn't really like. I started speedrunning pretty much immediately, and I didn't really stream until 2015, until like late 2015. And I never really promoted this behavior on my stream at all. I just kind of shit posted in people's chats, which obviously is still not good. I don't agree with any of the shit I posted, but basically it all came to a boil in 2017, which is not that long ago, and I will admit that that's not that long ago, of course. Um, with StreamMe, my community started to get really toxic and hate for a specific individual, which I think is warranted, but not in the way that we went about it. Um, and so, like, do you want to get into that at all right now, or no?
I'd like to keep the personal
Okay,
attacks for
okay.
another
So,
point.
with StreamMe, it was very, as I wrote in here, like it wasn't StreamMe was not as restrictive as Twitch at all. So it really let the
Something like that.
toxicity run rampant, and I didn't really do anything about it until later when I switched back to Twitch because I was fucking done with StreamMe. I was sick of their shit. I was
Yeah,
sick of the people on there.
Streamy. I also want to say that Streamy does have the aspect and angle of getting paid for the amount of
Yeah,
chat messages you have. So I mean, and I was definitely among 8bit's little, thinking process here of like, whatever is getting you chat messages, hit it up. Who cares? Um, and
Yeah, for
when
sure.
you don't really care is the problem because obviously things being said aren't the greatest, but when you don't care, it's just like whatever. But like
yeah,
caring is something you definitely should think about doing. And it
yeah.
seems that 8bit's
So
doing that as
so
well, which is
after
good.
after I left StreamMe, I really did and have tried to change my chat for the better. And in the past just 2 days, I think I've banned like 7 people from my server. I know a lot of people are very mad at me for this already, but the type of users that continue to stick around with this behavior, I really don't like. For instance, there's certain people that I may have found funny in the past that I just straight up now don't now, and there's a lot of them, in my opinion, that have gotten edgier. Meanwhile, I have gotten less edgy, so we've just drifted, and they constantly slander me and call me an SJW over the past few days,
So
and
I
just
mean,
shit up my
Is
whole
that
chat
is this
as bad as
real?
it's
possible.
it's the
Yeah,
same
Oh
group.
my
It's the
god.
same group that's been doing this to me as well, for the most part. Um, 8bit and I have known each other for a while, so it's mostly the same people. I don't want to get into them because they're just kind of like
yeah,
irrelevant
yeah,
creatures of the night, and not in the cool way. And but it's just essentially a bunch of people who are like privileged and just will never have to really be held accountable for their actions because they're just nobodies. Versus people that actually just want to grow up and like move on. You know what I mean? Like these are people that are like stuck in the careless childhood
yeah.
phase, and
Like,
like it tornadoes because like they just have no connection to the outside world at all in any meaningful way, it just kind of like spirals into like more and more destructive over time. And then with the cultural shifts of like, global fascism on the rise, like it's just a natural, like they just
Yeah,
drift that way.
I agree. Like I think in general, just like general's fine. It's it's fun. It's whatever. But I think when you take it to that extreme is where I get a problem with it. I don't think anyone in here doesn't like shit posting. It's fun to just
Yeah, it's
fuck
fun to just
around.
like,
But
jerk
yeah,
off
it's fun.
on
It's fun to fuck
webcams.
around.
Like,
It's
whatever.
fine to fuck around with it to an extent. But like when it starts getting into straight racism and straight like promotion of fascism, like I just can't like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
I'm
not
only
okay with
going
that,
to
and I haven't been okay with that in a long time. And
ironically support the genocide of entire
yeah,
populations.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just
Yeah,
ironically.
I just ironically hate minorities.
Yeah, I'm just ironically gonna commit hate crime.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, no, it is childlike behavior for a reason. And it's good that you're growing up. It's good. I think most people should grow up, myself included. And once you really just kind of understand what's out there, um, stuff gets a lot less entertaining. Um, and do you have anything else you want to say, 8-Bit, as far as like a
Yeah,
statement goes, or?
like in general, like I'm really sorry for all those I disappointed, for all those I hyped up with this shit. I think my toxic behavior is in the past has this completely warranted. I'm very okay with this ban. I wanted to try to talk to staff a little bit about the future, but I'm not fighting this ban in any way, shape, or form. I think it's completely deserved for me. So yeah, that's basically it
So
on
you're
this
not
front.
gonna pull a CDGEXE and get lawyers?
Yeah, so
No,
what is your? Are you sure you haven't like called a lawyer yet?
fucking lawyers.
Have you made like a Twitter like pinned post where you like
I can't do that because I'm
chat
banned
and
from
like
Twitter.
Have you
slander
made
like
a
a few
paste
people?
bin talking about how like, your mental health issues led to you doing everything the way you did? And how
No,
it's like,
I didn't make a paste bin about why I've been grinding so hard and why I needed to cheat for this run
yeah, no, I
and
get
then
you. I get you.
base score on guy.
But yeah, no, I mean it's good. I'm happy for everyone involved here. And I'm sure that the cringers are gonna be getting their hands on this little bit of audio here. So, um, you know, leave them alone.
Hmm.
Oof.
Eric, you've been kind of silent here. Do you want to say anything about 8-Bit's scenario, or are you just gonna? Who's dying?
Um,
Was someone dying?
no.
Okay.
Really, in particular, honestly, I can agree. 2015, 2014 was not a very good year, especially when it came to just being a shit poster and everything like that. But yeah, I'll agree with it. There's things I regret that I've said, but like you can't really like necessarily take them back. Like it's once it's said, it's said, it's done, it's there on the internet, it's forever.
Mm-hmm.
But the least I can do is own up to that mistake. And this individual will try to take that advantage and use it against. But yeah, I just agree on that sentiment points. But as soon as we get to the individual, I'll go into it.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think rehabilitation is the key. Like, there's no point in
I
calling
agree.
people out if you don't give them room to improve. Like, when
I
people
agree.
improve, that's when they're on your team. Like, there is no reason to hound people after
Right,
they. Like, it's not like, it like 8-Bit or, myself as like Mitch McConnell and like responsible for killing literally millions of people. Like, it's not like that.
Oh no,
And,
yeah.
Like, I mean, for some people, it's more of a gray area. But I mean, like, personally, in the battlefield of ideas, it's a win.
gotta
So
pick your battles, like you know what I mean.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot of moral purists that like to like pretend like they've never done anything wrong ever. And I think that
I have
stuff's
the
just
high,
silly.
I have
Like,
the high ground.
you can criticize people. You can criticize people, but like when you spend most of your time criticizing certain groups over certain groups, it shows a lot about your character.
Yeah.